Hello everyone, I know this looks a little weird, but just stay with me. We had painted this monochromatic floral picture a little while ago, and I was trying to show you how you can have a lot of variations using the Peiloff painting kits depending on your level of exploration and how you feel about deep diving into things. Now, the picture that you see blocked is because I'd already started making some of the leaves. I'm not sure how long I'm going to shoot this video, but I wanted to do a follow-up video for you so you can see how you can go back into the paintings and even increase what you have, whether the picture's monochromatic or color, that you don't have to stop where the video stops, that you can take steps and go deeper and further into the whole exploration. And what I'm going to be showing you are some ways in which I like to develop my pictures even further when you have a lot of time. Because the one thing you have to understand is these videos aren't meant to occupy your time for the many hours that you could sit around and paint pictures. But in this case, I wanted to do a follow-up to add to what we've already shown you and how you can further develop the painting. So here's what I've done so far. So as you can see in this area here, there's a lot more detail being placed on each individual petal. And this is taking your time and going back over what you've already done, and then even taking it further and redrawing in the lines after they've been somewhat blurred away. All I have is the same colors, and all I'm doing is dabbing a little. See, I'm dabbing into a little bit of the color, dabbing into a little bit of the black. Put the skin there. And then I'm just looking for tones. You see all the different variations you have? So now I'm just going to take these colors and this pointed brush, and I'm just going to go in and start adding values on top of each petal. You know, I'm not worried about the lines because I could always put those back. So what I'm trying to do now is rebuild a more dimensional shape. And all I'm playing with is variations of tone, where I take a darker tone on maybe one side of the flower and tap a little bit, get a little color to come off. And I'm just looking at it as I go, and I'm building. But what I'm trying to build is each individual petal now. So this could take hours. But what else is there to do when you're exploring your creativity? When you want to dive deep, you have to be ready to make some kind of commitment and some kind of sacrifice. And to me, it's not a matter of time. It's a matter of detail. It's a matter of how do I want my picture to look in the end? I could leave it looking flat like this and be satisfied, or I could experiment and go deeper into the painting, adding little tonal changes like this area has, and build that all the way around and create a much more defined picture. Now you could of course do this with color. You would just have to understand how the colors work and how you start with something light and then work your way to something dark. See, by adding that little touch of dark right there, I could now come in front of that with a slightly lighter value and show a separation between that top and bottom leaf. Or I keep saying leaves, I mean to say petals. So you have your cup of water, you have your paper towel, you have your two colors, and you're just literally looking for those subtle little changes. And you're really just dealing in values now. You're just going with dark to light. You know, so it's just a matter of touching a little bit of color. I'm trying to hold it so you can see as I dip down. You just add a little value into little corner areas, and you just keep working yourself around. And this is how you can develop a painting even more. You do this with portraits. You can do this with landscapes. You could do it with with the landscape being the tree itself, or the rocks, or the water. It's just a matter of experimenting and being willing to, I don't want to say make mistakes, but yeah, you might have to. You might have to make a few mistakes to learn, so you can see what to do, what not to do, what to do more of, what to do less of. Like right now in that little corner, I want a really, really dark value to separate that top and bottom leaf. Petal. Oh my goodness. I'll get it right. See, I want that. I want that little subtle difference, and I'm going to keep building like this constantly all around. And it could take me a little time. But what I'm going to get in the end, what I'm going to get after I finish doing all of this, is a much more pronounced flower. I can play with the inside. I can play with the leaves. I can play with the stems. I can put shadow behind here. It's arbitrary. It's you, the artist, looking at what you have and sometimes seeing, well, how much further can I go with this? Like how much deeper can I get into the anatomy of these petals? And sure, it's going to take a minute, but it's minutes well spent. It's time well invested, because not only are you learning, but you're doing, and you're touching, and you're feeling, and you're working your way around. And I don't know if you can see the difference, so let's cover it again. Look how flat that looks there, and how much more dimensional it's becoming here. So just imagine this area times 2, times 3, times 4, times more. And then you go back and look at other elements to see how you can build more on your painting. So I'm not going to sit here with you for the amount of hours that I am going to spend on this painting, but I did want to share with you what I was doing. I wanted you to take in some of the possibilities here. I wanted you to see that after the cameras are down, after you're alone with your painting, some of the things that you as an artist should be doing, which is learning to play with values and play with tones and redefine shapes, and not be afraid to mess it up. Oh, I don't want to do it. I'm going to mess it up. Ooh, look at it. I went over the line. Oh my goodness, it's gone now. Yeah, but you can always bring stuff back. You can always put back anything. Painting is never over until you say it's over. You can redo pictures over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And I always tell this story. I did a portrait painting from a newspaper clipping of Jennifer Lopez. And I really wanted her eyes to be Jennifer Lopez's eyes. And every time I would look at the picture, it wasn't looking back at me, not like she was. Don't get me wrong, it's not that kind of a fantasy, but I didn't see her eyes in the picture. I saw eyes. They were definitely eyes. But what I didn't see was Jennifer Lopez's eyes. The ones I was looking at in that very tiny, but yet very distinct newspaper clipping of her picture at one of the events that Hollywood was having. And I wanted those eyes. I wanted that sparkle. I wanted that look. I wanted, if nothing else, everything else about her was there. The shape of her face, her nose, the hair, the clothes she had on. But the eyes just were like not giving me that window to her soul. So I took them out completely and put them back. Took them out completely, put them back. And I kept doing that until I was satisfied, finally, with the eyes that I thought were looking back at me, saying, hi, I'm Jennifer Lopez's eyes, not just some eyes, because she deserved that. the painting deserved that. And sometimes that's what it takes. It's like, what kind of time are you willing to invest in yourself, in your craft, in your skills? Are you going to settle, or are you going to dig deeper and try to explore and find more of what you can express to help you be able to find that artist that's in you? And sometimes it's just time spent with you and the subject. You could say, for that moment, I became Jennifer Lopez, and I'm nowhere near that kind of guy. Not that that's an issue. Everybody deserves to be who and whatever they want to be. I just am an artist. So if I'm painting a vase, I like to become the vase. If I'm painting a person, I like to become the person. I try to identify very strongly with that image so that I can think like it, feel like it, and try to then express it the best way that I can. And I recall in the video saying over and over that I made my lines so much darker so that you as the viewer could see what I was doing. But now I have no problem going in and softening and taking these lines out if necessary. I'll reestablish them if I have to. But I like the subtlety of the color more than the dramatics of the color. And I'm just building now off of what I had, but I'm showing you that even though this is here, dried, and can stay like that forever, I'm going in and I'm redoing every single petal. And I may go back around again, but right now I'm just looking for the same thing I always am, even when I was painting it the first time. I'm just looking for little things to kind of help guide me along. So you see how I'm putting a little dark in that corner, and then I'll wipe my brush off and touch a little bit more paint and pull some of that color down just to start getting it to blend. But I'm pulling it down, and as I'm pulling it down, I'm shaping it into the petal, softening that line, seeing if that's rich enough. I see there's another petal next to it, so let's start putting a little dark in this corner right here to kind of keep the separation going. Just to keep the separation of petals. So even that little subtle thing that I did right there changes what that area looks like. And look how it's graduating, how it's starting to, again, go back in that circle again. And where some have more, some have less, some are softer. I'll come back and re-identify. Like, for example, I might say, okay, right up in here, I want a nice darker value right in this little corner here. Maybe another one right here. See, and just those little touches start to give more dimension and shape and structure to my plant. And I'm really happy that I'm willing to invest the time and invest the energy into retelling this story, so that when this new story is revealed and finished, perhaps it's speaking a lot louder, that it's saying a lot more, that other than that is a flower, maybe now I'll be saying these are all the petals. Maybe that'll be where you focus. And look how this is changing, how this center part is now rested above it. It's starting to look very much like a flower. And again, you can take this to realism. You can take this to photorealism. Remember in the last video, and if you don't remember, then let me just say it this way. You can sit out in a garden and look at the flower and extract from it. Plein air painted. You can sit out there among the flowers. You can do it at botanical gardens. You could do it at zoos. You could do it in front of someone's yard respectfully, if you definitely get their permission, or if they're a neighbor and they know that you dabble and they don't mind you posting up and sitting out in front of their space, and just look at the image and then extract from it and say, okay, let me see what I can pull from reality. Because there's nothing wrong with that either. There's nothing wrong with trying to take your paintings to a photorealism level. And it comes with practice, it comes with time, and it definitely comes with you understanding values, tones, shape, so that you could then start to manipulate your image or images to any level that you want. You don't have to make it monochromatic. You don't have to make it in color like real color. You can make it psychedelic. You could be using all kinds of color for tone and still come off with a very, very nice floral painting that's somewhat psychedelic. You see how I'm dipping into that little corner again with the dark? Maybe I'll run this dark right along the edge here as though it kind of blends in together and start to create a little separation in pockets. And this just comes from taking your time. I mean, this will teach you patience. This will teach you how to not be in such a hurry, but to be thorough. And you can use this little technique in life, you know, with kids, with people, where you're not so quick to just look at something or someone and make a snap judgment, because there might be something deeper involved that you're just not seeing right at the moment. You know, you may be looking at it from a very obscure view, but as you go at it deeper, you can start to unravel some of it and see that there's layers, that there's more to something than just the surface. You can start to dissect life better, math better, a lot of things just from art. So again, I don't think I'm gonna actually have you sit here while I continue painting this entire painting now. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna show it to you when it's done, because it could be a while, and I don't want you to stay that long. I want you to go and, you know, live your life, but see what I've done. We started here, and since we've been talking, you may not think I went further, but I'm almost to the halfway point of this flower. And I'm not in a rush. You know, I might look at it for a couple of days as it is now and make subtle changes to soften areas and maybe darken other areas, because that's all I'm going to be doing now. And I just wanted you to see that process. I wanted you to see what that looked like. I wanted you to be with me while I'm talking you through it. And that's going to be my video for today. Just giving you like some kind of an idea of why this kind of time investment might be good for you. That it might help you to see a little bit differently the whole kit idea, the whole painting with Peiloff idea, that it's not just flat out simple. You can become a lot more of an artist in understanding the journey by these little experiments. I mean, I think it's starting to really come together. Now, you could write me, you could send me an email. You could send it to jrobinson@jrobinsonart.com. That's my email address. You could send it to me on jrobinsonart.com. That's my website for anyone who wants to join in on our program on a more monthly basis and, you know, receive kits. It's usually for our resident communities, but, you know, you can always enlist us to send you kits on a constant, and you could just become part of a package deal where you're getting a kit every month, every 2 weeks. It depends on you. There's definitely a better pricing structure for those, but, you know, the idea is that you don't have to stop at where the camera stops. And you don't have to stop where I stop. I'm just trying to get you going, and then you need to do stuff like this, where you then take the picture to a whole nother level. And like I'm always saying, I'm so curious to see what your interpretation of that would be like. You know, what that means for you in translation to what I'm saying to you, and then what you actually physically do. Because we're all artists. We all see things differently, and that manner of expression will start to come out once you understand the basic fundamentals, and then you can incorporate them into your own way of seeing. So I think I'm going to wrap it here, and I'm just going to keep painting. But I just, again, even though we started here and now we're here, this is all I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep kind of playing around with what I've shown you, what you've watched me dibble and dabble and do in the lightest and most subtle ways. And I'm telling you, I'm going to go around this. Heck, I may go around this and then start this one and get all of them to look like this, and then go back again and see how much further I can go. I may go into these leaves. Maybe I'll brighten them up and then add some subtle darkness around the edges. I mean, it's like no telling at this point. And who knows when this will be finished, but as promised, when I do finish it, I will share it with you. I will let you see it. I will show it to you. I will find a way. It might be the package cover for this particular project, and then you're going to see the video that'll end at a point, and then you'll have to watch the supplemental. But I say it's all learning. It's all part of the process. That is no way in an hour's time or in 2 hours time I can show you every basic thing that can be done to just this painting. And I wouldn't want you to sit through all of that, because that's a lot of time. But maybe I can give it to you in drabs or in little instructions like this, where I'm literally painting and showing you how I'm getting that look. And then if it's too strong, see, excuse my very expensive brush, but I'm going to keep using it because I don't throw away anything, and everything has a use. So just because something gets old, tattered, and beat up doesn't mean you put it to the side. You know, it's not, its life is not over. This brush still has a lot of paintings to paint. But what I was trying to say was, you're looking at me do it, and you're seeing it in real time, that I'm taking down some of these darker lines and I'm making them a lot more subtle, or I'm using them to be a petal separation, putting paint on top and softening it, going into the corners, going into one side of the painting with a more of a shadow and allowing some of the lighter color to show too. And then I'm going to go back and back and back until I'm happy, until I'm satisfied, and I'll say, okay, I'm done. But again, I don't want to keep you. I just wanted to share this with you. I thought it was that important that I made a whole nother video, as I'm going to call it, the supplement or the add-on or something like that is what I'm going to call it for you, so you'll know it when you see it, that is an addition to what we've already done with the painting that we initially did that ended up like this, which isn't bad. That isn't bad. But I'm saying that's a great start. Here's how you bring it to a better finish. And I'm just beginning with this. You can dive deep. That's all I'm saying. J. Robinson Art, Peiloff painting kits aren't just for the basic beginner. No matter what level you are, you can explore your creativity, have fun, push around a few colors, and really see where the journey can take you. So on that note, as the camera fades out, I'm going to keep painting. And when this is completely done, I'm going to share it with you, and you tell me how we did, how it looks. I think it's going to have a whole new look to it. But I don't want you to think that I went off camera and I did something miraculous, because this is all I'll be doing. Is exactly what you see me doing here, just repetitively. I'll be doing it over and over, literally on every single petal. That's how long it's going to take me. Every single petal that you see that I've created will get this touch up. And once that's done, I'll come back and add the lines, add more darkness. I'll see what I can do to help pop it up a lot more. But you cannot tell me you don't see the difference between this side and this side. And I like this side. I think this side is acceptable. I think this side we're approaching extraordinary. I think this side there's a lot more adventure to be had. But this is what you need to learn and basically understand to get to this and to the next level that will probably come after this. So on that note, I want to thank you as always for allowing me to come and paint with you, putting up with me and my big mouth, and allowing me to conversate with you while I paint to try and help you be inspired, be inspired. If I don't do anything else, if these kits don't do anything else, if my whole idea about setting these up doesn't do anything else but inspire you, then I've done my job. But I'd love for you to buy some of our kits, explore the creativity of them, and then again, share them. Share them with me and all the other viewers. We're all friends now. We're all one family. So might as well paint your picture and then you show me what you've done. Show me where you've taken it. Or show me where you started. Let's just start a dialogue anywhere along that line. So until next time, take care. Thank you for watching J Robinson Art Peiloff YouTube channel at jrobinsonart.com, peiloff.com. And thank you for being a good supporter of our program. Because you know what they say, support the arts. And if not everybody, then at least support this artist so that I can continue to bring you the best that I have to give on how you can get from here to here from here. Take care. Bye-bye.